Oh boy. One notable thing about this Scorpions team, I'm just going to keep going, is that they're missing their star ace, Dan Whitener, a.k.a. Virginia Ham. I'm not privileged to talk about exactly why we won't see him in this one, but suffice it to say, he's not here, and that's what matters. And at the same time, the Green Apples are missing Flackney. Folks, the reason that the game isn't happening right now is because there was a foul ball that was hit onto the roof. And in this particular style of play, you use one and only one ball that is scuffed to your liking, so they need that ball. We can see the Green Apples, you can't really see it, it's off camera. They're scaling fences in order to get their hands on this ball. Anyway, we've got 1 out and a 1-2 count. Coming to you live, I am your commentator, James Stein, and now sitting down next to me is the one and only Tommy Hernandez. Tommy, how you feeling?
I'm good, man. Sorry, I was doing a little bit of interviews with some of the last teams, but I'm excited for this game. This is the one I put on my calendar for games today as the best game of the day. You know me, I'm a Southern California guy, so these SoCal guys mean a lot to me. So I'd love to see a great performance by them. But these Green Apple guys, you gotta love them. They're just so fun to watch, and so I can't wait.
Strike right in there from Smithy. And what's great is we've already had 2 incredibly close one-run games down to the wire. In our first game, the Las Vegas Whifflers just barely edged out the O Bombers 2-1. And then in the second game, the Harbor Hawks were barely able to squeak by the Dallas Pandas. Really, really, really good games, both of the one-run variety. And you never know, we might see another one here.
Yeah.
Smithy to
Oh,
Pearson.
what a pitch.
How about that changeup right there?
Dude, that's so much talent from these guys, and I can't wait to see some more pitching craft from these guys. And yeah, just these one-run games are just so amazing. Well, and seeing the guys who are stepping up for the teams, Luke Rose for the Pandas, Jonathan Dalby for the Harbor Hawks. You had James Lee for the O-Bombers, and James Stein with this huge homer. So you're seeing all this talent just out here from everyone on the teams instead of just like one individual for each team.
Well, what's really cool about it is that BLW has done a really nice job of recruiting guys from various regions of the country, and it's very hard to do that. You know, you get guys in here, they gotta fly. I drove like 7 hours, and so to get guys excited to play at an event like this is hard enough as is, and then to be able to watch them all go out there and all contribute all at the same time, it's just a pleasure.
It is really a pleasure, and I agree with that 100%. Getting to drive, I drove 5 hours 50, so not as much as this man Stein right here, but just getting to drive out and see all the talent we get to witness, it is amazing. Getting to watch you play and getting to watch this man Stephen Hayden right here, number 7, get to play, it's something special.
Taking the mound for the Scorpions, I believe, will be Jackson Pearson. Pearson burst onto the scene in 2024 and was part of that fantastic SoCal run that featured many of the very players on this Scorpions squad. He did a fantastic job of pitching. He's known for his ability to chuck in the low 90s, but more importantly, he can control his pitches very, very well. He mixes well. He has nice, sharp movement. He's a great young talent. It's going to be really, really nice to see him continue to develop into a high-quality player as his career progresses. It looks like he's just about ready to go. Maybe a couple more warm-ups here. And then we're going to see the Green Apples in the bottom of the first. I believe, if my reporting is correct, I believe that despite having 5 guys, the Scorpions are only going to bat 4. The Green Apples, on the other hand, will be batting all 5. Something to look for in the future is the normalization, or I guess I should say the standardization of rosters. In the future, will it be a situation where every team must bat 5 every game, or will we allow guys to continue to bat 4 while others bat 5? I'm not sure what the answer is, but it will be interesting to see it go. Some warm-up throws from the infielders. And it looks like we are just about ready to begin. I don't have the, do we have the lineup? There. Yeah, so it'll be Reed Werner leading off, and then Will Smithy, the pitcher, followed by Gus Skibby, then Dudas, and then Sam Skibby. So all five Green Apples. Now, the Green Apples are missing a player. They're missing one Tyler Flackney. Let me tell you something. I played Flackney. I faced him in the LA tournament, and he is one of the most perplexing guys I've ever faced. He's not throwing hard, but he's just mixing well. And some of these smoke throw guys could learn a little bit from him. First pitch. Outside. Reed Werner gained national notoriety for his striking resemblance to Adam Driver and his dominance of the Circle City Wiffle League. First pitch is outside, and folks, the ball broke. All it did was hit the net, and that just goes to show you how hard these guys are throwing. So Jackson will get a new ball, and maybe he'll take a warm-up pitch with it. I'm not sure. These guys are such pros. You know, they all cut their balls and scuff their balls the same way. So I'm guessing he'll throw one or two just to make sure. But these balls all move the same way every time. Hope that didn't break it. Coming to you from Miracle Field in Scottsdale, Arizona. And for those of you just tuning in, it is indeed the Scorpions and the Green Apples. Jackson Pearson on the mound. Reed Werner at the plate. It's 1-0. And here is his next pitch. Swing and a miss. Riser just above the zone. You know, it's so funny when you're here in the booth and you're seeing Pearson throw. You're like, you know, it doesn't look like it's coming in that hard. But let me tell you something. You get in there, you stand in there against the mound, or against this kid when he's on the mound, it looks different. Off his fist, off the handle and into the zone. So that'll be a foul ball and therefore strike two. This is very much a gentleman's game. You look at the Green Apples being very sportsmanlike, admitting that did indeed hit off the knob. Little Scrooge on right there, missing up and away to Werner. And, well, you know, again, it speaks to the nature of the league, you know. This Green Apples team is full of veterans, and it's their job to dictate tempo and pace and set the culture. And, you know, little things like that do a great job of establishing the culture. 2-2. Perfect spot on the pipe. And that, my friends, is out number 2. I'm sorry, out number 1. Bottom of the first, no score in this one. Will Smithy up. He's pitching for the Green Apples. One thing that the Apples have is that it looks like a changeup upstairs. Boy, oh boy.
Disgusting.
Let me tell you, that would have broken my left and right foot.
That thing is so good. They just made a highlight reel of that too back in Texas.
I saw that image. Dude. Very high quality changeup.
Dude.
One thing that the Green Apples have that I'm not sure if any other team right now has is depth of arms. They've got 3 guys right now who can go in there and get you through an entire game and then some. And I'm just not sure if any other team has 3 guys who they could turn to at any game like that.
Naturals. Nope. Yeah, and I agree with that 100%. This Green Apples team has so much depth with their pitching, and I'm wondering what they're going to do. I'm wondering, are they going to mix it up a little bit, or are they just going to stick to one arm each game? Because they could really mix the table up. And something that I love about this team is they can go clean ball. If they really need to, they can go clean ball and change a little bit of view for some players.
For those who don't know, clean ball, as that one swung on and missed, clean ball is simply a way of saying that they've not doctored the ball in any way, fresh out of the box, a pearl, if you will. 2-2 count to Smithy. Now, the Naturals also have a number of guys who could go. However, the way that the Green Apples roster is structured, my method would be I would go one different guy for each game, as opposed to the Naturals, where I would just throw Jordan out there and I'd say, go, Jordan, go. And then I would just try and protect Connor Jaso for the finals. And so maybe Vin Lee and McWitty split a game, or maybe you just go Jordan for 2 games, or Jordan for a game and a half and McWitty for a game and a half. So, you know, they have options. I do feel, however, with the Green Apples, it would be good to go 1-1-1, but I'm not the coach.
Yeah, and I agree with that. It's tough with, it's great to have a lot of pitching depth, as you just saw strike three from Jackson Pearson with that amazing rise ball up.
Yes, sir.
And I agree, and it's just so tough when you have so much pitching depth. It's like you can do so much, and I do agree with having Whitty, Jordan Robles, and Jaso. I honestly think they should save Whitty and really save Jaso when they need to, because I know Jaso's offense has been a big part of their team this year. So I have him focus more on offense. Let Jordan go. I agree. Let Jordan go. Let Jordan until Jordan says, hey, Whitty, it's your turn. Give a little tag team action, and then let Whitty ride, because Whitty still hasn't given up a run at all.
It's true. His ERA is 0. One thing to think about with the Naturals, and I know they're not playing right now, so maybe it's something to talk about during that first game. But you got to think about a team like the Naturals. One of the things that can get in their way is each other. If a guy's like, well, how come I'm not throwing this game? That can really mess with a team's mojo. So coaching that team is hard, and it's on Logan Christie's shoulders to make those calls as the coach of the team. But yeah, I would, at least for game one, I'd be going Jordan. That is a beautiful shot. The other advantage that the Naturals have is that they only need to win 2 games in order to get to Tuesday's finale. So maybe you go Jordan one game, McWhitty or Jaso the other, and then, right? That's a big thing to factor in.
And I agree with that. So yeah, they have a lot of opportunities, and I agree with that. A big part of these tournaments is, can you come together as a team? I know it can seem very individualized, but a big part is that your teammates are behind your back. So seeing out here, and I think that's where you see a lot of success. And all the teams you've seen so far, Whifflers have played each other for a long time. Even like the O-Bombers, you played each other for a long time. Pandas have played each other for a long time. And so has the Harbor Hawks. And so I'm really excited to see, especially these two teams with the Scorpions, where you see them who are very close friends playing for each other and with each other, and also the Green Apples, who have known each other for a long time, and getting to see the unity and fun and family and friends here.
Folks, that's ball 4, so it'll put a man on first here with 2 outs. And let me tell you something, 2 out walks, that'll be the death of you, especially if you're a high quality pitcher like JP is, because all it takes is running into one, and if you happen to run into one when there's a guy on first, it hurts a lot more.
Especially with this lineup with the Green Apples, anyone can do damage at any point. So, and Dudas is known as someone who has home run power. So I'm interested to see if he will hit a really hard one here to give him the lead, or is JP going to get out of this inning unscathed?
You walk up to the Green Apples, they're all such nice guys, right? But then you kind of stand them all next to each other, and you're like, well, now wait a minute. These guys are all 6'2", 6'3", 185 to 215. These are big boys, and you forget it. Because, wiffle ball is, there's all sorts of characters in the wiffle ball game, but these are big dudes, and they're not going to be intimidated even by a flamethrower like Jackson Pearson.
Yeah, seriously, you just look at Dudas right now. He looks like he should be playing football or some sport right now. He just looks like a linebacker ready to pummel the ball. And that's...
Talk about pummeling the ball. Big cut there from Dudas.
What a beautiful hack. It's such a good pitch.
And the thing is, these guys on the Green Apples, they have so much experience in so many different leagues, and they've seen so many different types of pitchers that there's really no way to surprise them. You just have to be nasty.
Yes, and I agree with that. It's, can you get them off balance, because they're always ready to go.
Little piece of that one, 2-2.
Really quality. That looked like little tailing riser in. He saw the one riser that slid into the outer part of the zone. That one came in and might have fooled him there.
Well, yeah, it's one thing to throw hard. It's another thing entirely to be able to fool batters. And I agree, throwing the cut riser and the 2-seam riser as that changeup, swing and a miss, beauty of a pitch right there. Goodness gracious. Case in point, the ability to mess with batters. That is how you get guys out at this level. Yeah, you could come up there and you could throw a million miles an hour, and if you just do that every single time, you will eventually get hit. You've got to be a proper pitcher, and that is what Jackson Pearson has shown he's capable of.
Yes, and what a beautiful, beautiful start to this game. We have both pitchers looking fantastic, but a big part is who's going to get the offense going early. Is it going to be the Green Apples with that steady lineup, or is it going to be the Scorpions with that young lineup, and see who can get, because both of these teams play off of energy, and the Scorpions especially, you see them get hyped up all the time, excited, and they had this matchup back in Scottsdale in the first tournament in the quarterfinals, and the Scorpions got that win, but it was a great game. So I'm interested to see, will the Scorpions be able to get that energy going and just show some amazing opportunities here?
Well, not to harp on it, but you got to remember Dan Whitener was a part of that team when they won that game. And look, Dan Whitener, is arguably the best pitcher in the world right now. It's awfully hard to make a case for anyone else, just because of his recent performances. And so losing that hurts. Now, to your point, Tommy, about the chemistry on this Scorpions team, that is every bit as much as important as having a flamethrower. So when they lose a guy who's not part of that central core like Whitener, it hurts from a talent standpoint, but it does not hurt from a team culture standpoint.
Yes.
And when you watch the games and you're just a fan and you're watching these guys throw a million miles an hour, you forget that a lot of this is psychological.
Yeah, and I agree with that 100%. Like that's, and we'll see. And so now, and we'll be right back.
Sorry, baby, let's go.
Oh, never mind. And we're back already we have Sawyer up to get this inning going.
Swing and a miss. Smithy right now, I mean, he looks like he's just playing catch.
Yo, seriously.
And it's coming in at like 82, 83. I could throw as hard as I can, and I don't think I could touch that number.
Yeah, seriously, he looks like he's just easily getting it in there right now.
And right now, he's catching tin. Like, these sliders are catching tin. They're up in the zone, and these guys they can't hit him right now.
And I really thought with this heat going on, I thought it was going to affect him, but he's looking like he's comfortable out there.
Well, this is the thing about those big boys like Smithy and Dudas. Check swing. I think he went one away. These big boys like this, they don't have to go all out. They can take a couple miles off and use their body weight to pitch and to get it over, as opposed to some of the smaller guys who really have to go max effort on every pitch.
And I agree with that. And I think that's what makes him so special is that like Smithy can throw multiple games because of that.
Yeah.
He can keep going with his velo.
A lot of gas in that tank.
Yes, and you see that a lot with some of these guys like Reed and also Gus Skibby. And so like I am excited to see what Smithy brings to this game because I really got to see Smithy pitch live. So
this is my first time ever watching him pitch live.
Yeah, so this is something special because I know he's thrown some amazing games in his career. So I'm very excited to watch this as he throws this pitch. Oh, great take. Dustin's favorite thing to do, watch the ball not hit the zone. He's so good at walking.
Yeah, Dustin has a great eye, and it's what makes him a good hitter because what will happen is the game will get deeper, and guys will learn, oh boy, I can't afford to walk this guy, and he's not going to swing at the bad stuff. That's a beautiful spot, though. So what happens is they catch a little bit more zone than they mean to, and then he can attack it.
And it can also really like throw off the pitcher. You know, you're pitching to four hitters in a row. That they're super aggressive. They take hacks. But then you face the leadoff hitter and they don't take hacks, and then you're throwing a lot of chase pitches. To try to get them out, but it's not working. So that can have an effect on a pitcher.
He did get him to chase there though, so a nice job by Smithy, who's showing the center of the pan and then working around it.
That looked like gas.
Ooh.
He looks like he's throwing the cheddar out here in Arizona because that riser to Dustin was gas. That drop ball looked like gas. And
it kind of looks like what he's doing is he's speeding up as the at-bat continues.
I agree with that. I agree. He's trying to get ahead early, maybe mixing a couple things, but when he needs to, he has that flame.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. And I don't know if you noticed, Steven has that new Nerf bat. He just made that recently. His mom made it for him.
Did he?
Hey, we love moms out here. And now he has that beautiful
now.
fixed Nerf bat. And
Yes. Beautiful pitch right there. Smithy really getting into it right now.
What? Oh, my bad.
Stephen Hayden slapping himself around. Now, all right, there's a little bit of controversy surrounding Stephen Hayden, so I'd like to break it down. In this league, that ball is just missed. Popped it up. Adam Driver, Reed Werner makes the catch. And the force was with Reed on that one. The controversy surrounding Stephen Hayden is that in this league he's been dubbed Big Sexy, but there's already a very well-tenured player by the name of Sean Handall who has that name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's had that name since, 2006 maybe. So It's been his name. Yeah, you know what I mean? And I know Sean doesn't really play that much anymore, if at all. Nevertheless, I have offered a compromise. I think that we should be calling Stephen Big Sexy.
How do you even say that? What is that?
Big Sexy.
Is that a lot of tongue?
Yeah, because his name is Stephen.
I would love for Sean to kind of, if you can ever reach out to Sean to hear his point of view of that, because I just usually call him the Big Sex. instead of saying sex. Big
Well, now
sexy.
you're going to avoid a lawsuit with that one, but I don't know if it might still violate the spirit of the nickname.
I know. It's just, and I'm the one who actually gave him that nickname. It was like,
How
an
could you know?
accident.
I mean, Sean Handall, his prime was 2009 through 2016. So
I know, and I'm just getting into like the big wiffle ball history, so I need to look up Sean Handel. But it's just,
Sean Handall has some moments. Whew.
I know, I need to get it more. There's some really cool history of this game. Oh, as the ball goes in the booth. Oh my goodness, keep it in the field. Keep it in the field.
Yeah, Sean Handall, part of that legendary Blue Razors team, aka the New York Enemy, aka C4.
I know what you're talking about.
He's been a part of that franchise for quite some time. He's a big boy too. That's why they call him Big Sexy. Anyway, we're on to the bottom of the second here. It'll be Sam Skibby leading off here. Is that Sam or is that Gus?
That's Sam.
Okay. Yeah,
I
it's
saw him
Sam.
have in LA have a big homer against Will Marshall.
He sure did.
Right after he beat the O-Bombers.
That's true.
1-0. But this is a super underrated bat right here. And I'm looking forward to seeing him possibly hit here in this game.
Yeah, Sam Skibby has a real knack for finding the barrel on a bad pitch. Just getting that lift under the ball as that one misses upstairs. 1-1, I think the count is. Or 2-1, perhaps. I think it's 2. But yeah, Sam Skibby is a great bad ball hitter, and that's very useful against a guy like Jackson Pearson who hits corners. Screwball right in there, really nice pitch.
That is a really, really hard screwball.
Yeah, well, it's tight, it's sharp, it's got late break, and so yes, he throws it hard, but perhaps more importantly, he locates it well, and it's got that nice sharp late break, which is something that a lot of aces don't learn how to do until later in their career. Count goes full on a low riser to Skibby, and a leadoff walk would not be good for these Scorpions.
Yeah, and let's see, I know JP has a big arsenal, so I'm wondering what pitch he's going to go with right now on this 3-2 count.
He's been making guys look absolutely silly with that changeup.
Oh!
Instead, he goes ball 4 and puts a man on first. Leadoff walk there for Sam Skibby.
Oh, and like you were talking about earlier, we have the dangerous Reed Warner up. And like he's so dangerous, that bat he has in his hand is actually from the home run derby he won at UWIF's national championship last year. He's one of the best hitters here, and I'm interested to see, is he going to be that clutch guy today for the Green Apples with the bat?
Well, in an ideal world, nobody needs to be clutch, because in an ideal world, you pepper in a couple of runs here and there. And right now, what this team needs for him is to just put a quarter in that merry-go-round and keep it going.
I love that. I love that phrase, and I agree with you 100%.
That's a quick pitch. Stephen Hayden says, no, he didn't go. A lot of motion on that swing, but I agree. I don't think the bat crossed the plane.
Hey, those are some strong guys up there. They can hold their swing well. And so we have JP here with the 2-0 count. He needs strikes now. He needs it.
Beautiful. Beautiful spot right there. Low with that screwball. Yeah, when I was younger, I actually used to practice my check swings. I would begin my swing, and then I would just completely disengage my hands and my wrists and go limp. And so you can, it's about activating the body while loosening the hands. Ooh. Another beautiful screwball there.
Oh, JP looking beautiful up there. A little Picasso action. And I agree with that. Actually, in baseball, we used to practice our check swings in the cage in college because it was a big deal. Like, you don't want to give a strike away. And
No,
if
you don't.
You want to be ready to hit, but you have to be able to say no last minute.
Yes,
So,
yes, no.
Yes, 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 no. One of my favorite phrases as a hitter.
Swing and a miss. He got him.
That's a great comeback at bat for JP. That is huge for them. They still has a runner on first, though, for the Green Apples. So we'll see. Smithy here, one of the hottest hitters for the Green Apples, and see if he can do some damage.
Well, and he'd love to help his own cause here, as of course he's pitching on the other end of the bump.
That's very true. And we'll see. Oh, with that beautiful moonshot in his hand. Wow, look at that thing.
Yeah, I've never been a moonshot guy.
And that's okay. You have a beautiful bat yourself. Did you make that bat yourself?
I did, yeah. That is an old school Ripken quick bat. You can't find them anymore. They're even more rare than a Nerf. And the new ones are soft, like pudding, but the one that I have is hard, and if you look at it, it's actually been paddled out because of all the home runs that have been hit with it. And what it does is it actually, over time, it increases the length of the bat, and it increases the sweet spot of the bat. The measurements are the same, obviously, but the sweet spot of the bat almost becomes like a paddle. And that is how, as long as you barrel one up, it's going to be an absolute missile.
And I love that. That's so cool. I love the bats that people self-create, like yours and Steven's. And we have another 2-0 count by JP. So, like, again, he needs those strikes. So I wonder if Smithy's going to be ready to go because JP's shown he throws strikes in those 2-0 counts.
Well, I'm in hit mode right here. I'm looking for a screwball, maybe inside.
I would look exactly the same thing.
Instead, it's a little two-seamer. And it's just, this is the thing. When you're 2-0 and you throw a pitch like that, what are you going to do? Ground into a double play? No, you give him the strike because it's a perfect pitch.
Yeah, and I agree. Like, as a hitter right now, like you were talking about earlier, the merry-go-round, you can't swing at pitches you feel you can't crush. You got to be selective, especially on a 2-1 count. And
that was probably one to hit.
Yeah, I would have.
On the other hand,
I agree. I think he thought it was going to be a screwball.
Well, again, so Pearson came in with that little two-seam rise ball, and that one was a little cut riser. And so that's how you throw a batter off. One low, coming in on the right-handed batter. The other one high, moving away from the right-handed batter. It messes with your eye level.
JP's just pitching wonderfully, and here you go.
Oh, just missed it. High, pop up. It's bleeding, and it finds some grass.
Whoa.
Look at that, a little miscommunication for the Scorpions. That's going to be a clean single. It's going to put runners on first and third, and there's just one out here, which means you can score on a tag up. You can score on a ground ball that isn't perfectly executed as a double play. And, of course, a dirty single, a single that's touched before it reaches the outfield, that will also score a run.
And I think the big one that I think we've seen a lot actually in BLW is the ground ball that's hit but doesn't hit the zone.
Yeah.
Because runners can move. We've actually got to see that a lot. It happened in the On the Rise game in the last tournament. It happened in Chicago. We've seen that.
On a pizza.
Thank you. We got pizza in the building.
We got some pizza from Miss Rose, and you got a lot of opportunity here, and that's I think talking about Dan. That's a big presence he brings is defense. He has a lot of veteran presence on defense. He knows the game really well, and I think you're seeing kind of the struggles right now where you have someone like Sawyer who doesn't tend to play defense, and someone like Pete Colm who I haven't actually seen him play very much defense in the fast pitch realm. He's more of a medium pitch defense guy.
Well, Colm is in there for his defense. He's not batting in the lineup, and he just got pushed off the field. Oh, no, he got pushed over to first.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Now, this is obviously the biggest moment in the game right here in the second inning with Gus Skibby up. And I agree with what you're saying about Ham bringing that veteran leadership. That was a miscommunication. That should have been caught. And so at this level, at this stage, you just can't make a mistake like that. And now if you have the Green Apples, you cannot let it go. You must make it hurt. And Sam Skibby looking to do that right now.
I really want to see Gus.
I mean, Gus Skibby. I don't know why. They look nothing alike. I don't know why I keep messing them up. Sam is the one with the better leggings.
I get it, because they're both so handsome. I know you get them.
Well, yeah, I just see it, and like my jaw hits the ground, and my eyes do that thing from the cartoons where they burst out of my head.
I get that, man. I get that. And something I want to see out of Gus is that peppering ability, and I want to see.
No, what you need right now is kind of one of those like choppy ground balls that makes the guy dive or something. You know what I mean? Push it down the line. You don't need to go crazy. Another thing that would help, one of those rocket shots up the middle. Even one that knocks off of Pearson's foot. 2-1 count coming.
Something hard on the ground or low. Oh,
and a miss. And that is not where you want to be right now. If you're Gus Skibby.
If you're Gus Skibby, you do not want to chase a pitch like that. And this puts him in a tough opportunity with 2-2 count. And I wonder, JP threw that changeup to Smithy, and he did get a hold of it. So I wonder if he avoids that and tries to go with something a little quicker.
Yeah, I mean, this is the pitch of the game right here from JP.
And that's a beautiful riser in the zone.
Cut riser. He's up with that cut riser and low with the two-seam riser. If the Apples were smart, they'd pick up on that. But this time it was not meant to be. And now it'll be up to Dudas with 2 outs.
And if JP gets out of this, that'll be such a huge momentum for the Scorpions to hopefully take that to that bat. But Dudas is a clutch hitter in his career, so I'm wondering what Dudas is about to do right now in his at-bat.
Swung on and nubbed. Is it playable? No. Hit the zone.
Foul ball off the zone.
Yeah, we don't have a view of the bottom of the zone here from our booth. Good pitch, good swing.
and Dudas had some big swings.
Oh, a quick pitch. And let me tell you something. It's so hard to throw a good strike with a quick pitch. A lot of times guys will do that, and they'll bury the pitch in the dirt, hoping for a chase. But no, Pearson with that quick pitch, nice tight drop. He's not sporting the most movement right now, and quite frankly, he doesn't need it. Big pitch here, 0-2. Outside. And with no wild pitch rule here in Big League Wiffle, there's nothing to worry about, so you can throw anything you want on 0-2. A hush falls over the crowd here as this one getting ready to come on in there. Long pause for Pearson. Outside. Tommy, do we have any cold waters in there?
Yes.
Can I grab one? Thank you. All right, so 2 balls now after the first 2 strikes.
I think JB's trying to change eye levels here. He's throwing some risers up. Maybe he's going to try and get him on drop ball here low.
To me, this feels like change-up time. I'm not sure what that was, some kind of drop curve situation, but it was perfect and right where it needed to be. We're heading to the top of the 3rd scoreless. JP says, I got your Virginia ham right here, pal. Wriggling out of trouble. We'll be right back. I'll be right back. Into it. Here in the top of the 3rd, Smithy back in there. First pitch ball to Pearson, who's looking to help his own cause. Just missing there. So we'll see if that Pearson product coefficient was able to swing the momentum in the Scorpions' favor.
Oh,
Swing and a miss.
It's a tough chase. That's not something you want to do on a 2-0 count, especially to start the inning.
My guess is he was looking slider, and if he said if it's a slider, I'm swinging, and it was just well placed.
I agree. Smithy has a good slider, so it might have moved a little, just enough outside the zone in his eyes, but we'll see what he does on this 2-1 pitch.
Pearson now way up 3-1. And again, I'm zoning here. I'm looking for one pitch in one spot, and if you can throw something better than that, good for you.
I agree. I am crushing this pitch. I am not missing it in this moment. Help my team out to keep the merry-go-round going.
That'll be ball 4, and it'll get a man on first.
Okay, let's go, 5, let's go.
The pitch. Oof, Joshka.
Smithy attacking early, and I agree with that. I want to see what Sawyer can do. Sawyer has had a pretty interesting BLW scene. He's had some moments where he's on fire as he leaves that right there, and there's moments where he's struggled. So I'm kind of wondering to see what Sawyer Bean are we going to see out here today. Are we going to see the confident Sawyer Bean that we have seen before? And I'm hoping to see something like that to help out the Scorpions lineup.
Well, the interesting thing about Sawyer.
Oh,
is that just misses that one.
Healthy hack.
The interesting thing about Sawyer is that his reputation, of course, is that of being an athlete. He's a tremendous, he's fast. He can jump high. He has great reaction time. Perfect strike.
Wow, what a pitch by
How
Will
about that
Smithy.
So 1-on-1 out here. And the thing about Sawyer is he's one of those guys who's naturally athletic. And so what I was going to say is he just needs increased reps as Staggs takes one. Perfect spot.
He's able to tunnel that slider with his riser really well with his arm angle. And you could tell on the freeze there, on the Behan freeze pitch there.
Oh.
Yeah, he's really getting by here on pretty much just 2 pitches. And it's just a slider and a drop screw.
Yeah.
He's just locating well east-west, up, down. And again, he's not going max effort. He's just focusing on his control and his selection.
Yeah, and I think that's what's super... Oh, with the riser down the middle on an 0-2 count.
Yeah, he's got these Scorpions.
Looking silly.
Yeah, he's got them chopped up right now.
Yeah,
you know?
and something about Smithy is like you're talking about, he's mostly a 2, maybe a 3rd pitch once in a while guy. But something special, I think a common for these Midwestern guys, they're able to change the speeds with those pitches. They don't throw like change-ups a ton. You'll see maybe once in a while. But you see a lot of like his riser, like when he needs to, he can pick up the velo. And you've been seeing a lot of that with Smithy today. Oh, with that beautiful slider on the outside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, you're right. He's been doing it all day. Not throwing change-ups, but changing velocity. Reaching back for a little extra when he needs it. It's the thing that you learn how to do via experience. That's something that experience teaches you and nothing else.
I agree with that 100%.
Save that energy, and that way you're not starting off at 88 and getting down to 82 as the game moves on.
And I agree, and I think that's something we kind of seen the last couple games is arms getting burnt out pretty quick. You saw a little bit in Jake Sullivan. I think even James Lee later in the game burning out a little bit. And also we saw a little bit in Brody Livingston too. Like they're throwing hard in the beginning, or a lot of gas.
You're gassed up.
And then the adrenaline's going, but then you start dying down, especially in this heat.
I was about to say the heat is a factor.
Sorry.
Also, the ball getting really squishy from the heat on the turf was something that was big, especially in my game in the 4th and 5th innings. But
Yeah,
the
you wanna
pitchers
keep
are going to
that-
have to find a way to work around that. In these games, there's no excuse
You
because
want
they
to
know
keep
the
the ball
heat
in
is
a
there.
cooler. Yep, you got to keep the ball in a cooler. You gotta change. You gotta make sure you're not overexerting in those first couple of innings. And again, that's the thing that comes with experience.
Yeah, I've actually had a lot of people ask about the ball in the cooler to me today, and I think it's one of the great tactics you can do as even like if you're not playing in the game as like someone like helping out as a role, helping the pitchers out, because when you have that ball in the cooler, it really helps out in hot days like this. I remember Leday taught me when we went out to MAW tournament in Pennsylvania. He had a ball in the cooler, and I was like, and that started that trend for me. Now I always use it, especially on hot days like this.
You know what else you can do? Yeah, I don't know how to fix it.
You want to just tap it?
1 sec. So one other thing you can do, Tommy,
I'm actually.
as Jackson warms up here, and this is something that far less people do. The ball in the cooler thing, a lot of people know about that. Another thing you can do is you can have a small wet rag in the cooler.
Oh.
And before you're at bat, you take the rag, you squeeze it out, and you wipe your bat to get the plastic cold and hard.
Wow. I haven't heard of that one yet. I'm about to steal that one.
It's a good one.
We love having the veterans out here teaching us guys. We're doing that tomorrow for the All-Star game and the Home Run Derby. That's getting used tomorrow. But yeah, that's so smart.
Keep the barrel nice and cold. The only thing is you need a wet rag and a dry rag because you don't want to make your bat wet so that it's slick. Because you don't want the ball slipping off you. So you got to get it nice and cold, and then you dry it off. You get right up it there into the box.
Yeah, and I have a little bit of experience with a slick bat. I remember I was using a Nerf bat for the first time in a tournament in California when it was raining. And I hit a home run, but the bat flew out of my hands and actually almost hit Stephen Hayden in the back of the head.
Wow.
And there's a clip of the bat just flying and just barely avoiding Stephen Hayden. So I agree with that. And that's a really cool thing, though. It's really important to keep that plastic hard because it's important in this game. Like when that ball gets squishy, like James was talking about, it becomes difficult to use. And so keeping that plastic tough and allowing, especially as a hitter, when the plastic is tough, the ball can fly, especially in this heat. So it's important to have that ability for the ball to fly.
Yep. In the Premier League, out in Vegas, they had a refrigerator in the dugout. We used to put our bats in the freezer. It was amazing. First pitch from Pearson. Inside ball one. But yeah, we used to have a we called it the freezer bat. We would just leave our bat in the freezer. That was in the dugout of the Premier League field. It was really cool.
That's so cool. Hey, I love watching that league sometimes. I love watching. Actually, I've watched you play in that 2022 July 4th tournament.
Okay. I almost died in that tournament. Because I pitched one of our games against some team of random people, and I was like having heart palpitations in that game.
Whoa.
And on the very last play of the game, some guy ripped it, and Randy Dalby like leaned out. He made an amazing catch, and like I literally, as that one's thrown up and in, I literally didn't even shake hands. As soon as he caught the ball, I ran. They had a grotto. I ran to the grotto and jumped in the pool because I was just like I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack.
It was probably so hot in Vegas in July.
The field was like 115. It was crazy.
Oh, and Sam Skibby just missed that one. That was a great pitch by Jackson, getting him to chase just a little bit enough to cause that. But yeah, I love watching that video. I've seen the Wiffle statement video on it.
Yeah.
It's funny enough to see that Lede is in that video.
Yeah.
And also you got a little bit of Logan Christie in that and Jordan Robles.
There's some guys.
And that's your team won it.
Yep.
And that was like a really cool. That was like one of the things that just. And with an amazing pitch by JP for strike 3, staying in the inside. And now I'm seeing that cut riser you guys are talking about. Just keeping that just a little inside.
So the ball that he fouled back just there, that was the 2-seam riser, and it bored in on the hands. It was just off the plate, and then he throws that one, the cut riser, just barely over the plate. He's mixing those two extremely well.
And that's
really impressive outing right now.
It is really by both pitchers.
Absolutely.
Oh, that changeup! You see that? That thing really moves. That thing's dancing like it's in a '70s disco. It's got so much movement right there, and that's. Man, I want to see. But Reed is someone who, like you were talking about, I think you were talking about earlier, like he just gets the barrel of the ball somehow.
He's a big, strong guy, you know?
Big, strong guy. You know, he looks like he lifts weights.
Oh, he lifted that ball.
Great hit, Reed.
Just smoked on the ground. If I had a radar, it would probably say 110, but that might just be the temperature outside. It was hit so hard, and that's a quick single for the Green Apples, and that might get their offense going.
Yeah, that's what you need. You know what I mean? You got to string something together here. You can hope and pray and wait that someone's going to run into one, but the better way to do it is to have a couple of hits and a walk, and you know what I mean? Someone comes through. That feels a little bit more satisfying. It's a little bit more demoralizing for a pitcher when they give up a few hits in a row rather than let someone just kind of run into one.
And I agree 100%.
Ooh, pitch low. That's like your catchphrase, huh?
What?
And I agree 100%.
Yeah. Oh, I've been saying it all day.
I agree 100%.
And I agree because, you know, there's a lot of things you hear in this booth that you hear a lot of wisdom here, and I want to take all that wisdom, and I agree 100% on that wisdom, and that's, I want to take it.
There's the quick pitch, whip down the line, and past the wall for a double.
And there's the first run of the game, and of course it is their pitcher, Will Smithy, picking up his own torch and carrying it with him with the combination of Reed Warner. This offense, man, can really do damage, and they just showed right here. And, man, they are so tall.
One too many quick pitches from JP. It never needed to happen. He's good enough without the quick pitch. You do it once a game, maybe twice a game. That was quick pitch number 3. We're here in the 3rd inning. It was just too many quick pitches, quite frankly.
And I agree with that. I feel like quick pitch, when you do it so much, it becomes like they get used to, like people get used to it. And I think it's more of a medium pitch, golden stick style.
Yeah.
Because like you see a lot of pitchers in there where they do like a skip or something like that to throw off timing. But something in fast pitch where there's still some extra distance for the ball to move. Oh, with that beautiful pitch for strike 1 that froze Gus.
Gross changeup.
And so I agree with that. You wanna see JP just trust his ability just to naturally pitch. He doesn't need to do any of that extra stuff. That's more for pitchers like me who only throw like a little 80 mile an hour in there.
Or me who throws 65.
Yeah, but you throw 65 and win Golden Stick Wiffle Ball Open Championships, so national championships.
So anyway, the point is, unless I missaw the pitch, every time he's on a quick pitch, it's been a drop.
I thought I was a riser.
I don't remember. I don't know.
Oh, you might be right. I think the riser was Reed's. I think Reed hit a riser. I think you're right. And that's like when you do a quick pitch, you rarely ever see a changeup or something like a finger ball on a quick pitch. So they're trying to
Well, and it's risky to do a quick pitch for a strike because when you mess up your mechanics like that, you're liable to leave it over the plate.
Yes.
That's why a lot of guys like to throw a drop in the dirt with the quick pitch to try and fool a guy. Not that time.
That did not fool. That did not fool Will Smithy, and we have here Gus now in a 3-1 count.
Mm-hmm.
JP, they're having a little conversation, and if he's getting in trouble, who do you go to for the Scorpions to help them out?
Well, normally, you know what I would say.
Yeah.
I would say you go to you go to Dan Haverty. Dan Haverty. You go to Dan Whitener. What's wrong with you right now?
No, it's okay. Another legend, though.
Dan Haverty is a legend, man. We want to see him out here. I heard a rumor that he didn't put his name in the draft, which is a shame because this energy, he's all about this kind of energy.
Yeah, he played last year a little bit in our BLW, and he was
Him and Tui.
awesome. And I got to meet him and DNAP and got to talk with him. And so, and we all missed Tui out here in Arizona, but now he's back in his hometown of Massachusetts, Boston, going to cheer on those Red Sox this season.
All right, so men on first and second here with just one out. But yeah, so normally I would say you go to Whitener here. But I mean, the only guy, who else? You can't really go to Steven here. It's either Jackson or Sawyer.
And I honestly think so. Something like Preston Cole won most underrated, and I think a big part of that was his pitching. He had I believe just below a 1 ERA, and he threw like the 5th or 6th month innings this year. Oh, but I think they are going to. Sawyer and actually need to start cutting the ball for him.
Come on, Judas.
They're gonna let JP try and get out of this third inning here with 1 out and 2 on.
And talking about Pete Colm, he was massive in full play for the Scorpions. He was kind of an unsung hero in that regard, but the stats show that he was extremely valuable.
Yeah, and I agree with that. He was a big part of the Scorpions winning a lot of their pool play games, and I think that's where I think today's the day where we get to see Preston Cole show he is a playoff caliber pitcher for the Scorpions roster, especially with Dan Whitener not here.
Grounded through. Will it get to the wall? It will not. Nice play there by Staggs. I don't know if anyone got a hand on that.
JP may have gotten a hand on that.
We're gonna have to wait and see.
But
Yeah, so indeed he says it did hit off his forearm. So what that means is that the runner from second does not advance past third. So it's bases loaded, 1 out, and we've seen JP wriggle his way out of trouble. He needs to come up big for himself right here, because I think unless Sawyer or Colm is already warmed, you don't want to bring them in here tight. So
Yeah, just one nothing.
Yeah.
Finger on that, so it's dirty. It's first and second.
But it would still be a clean single though, right?
No, it hit his forearm.
But
No,
it did. Oh, JP.
JP.
JP hit it.
yeah, Dustin saves it from being that double. Yeah.
I thought we were gonna get a little throwback to Dustin Play of the Year in Dallas, where he prevented it. JP threw a riser and Love hit it all the way to the fence, and Dustin dived and saved it from being a double.
Dustin doesn't pitch. Typically, he has shown a little bit of his ace ability in some tournaments, but that defense he has is the value that he has on that side of the ball. And you now see Dustin's bat getting hot too, where he's showing like, hey, I'm not just a walk-in defense. I am an all-around player in this style. What a beautiful pitch by JP.
And that changeup has not really been hit the entire game.
well, and that's why I was so curious. I'm like, why did you throw that quick pitch when you've got that disgusting changeup in your back pocket?
The much thing was on that slow one that they missed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Smithy was just telling us, that. Oh,
Got him! Oh, beautiful drop screw in the dirt there for the second out.
I knew that was. Hey, you just missed it though. Hey, I love in the booth is right by the players, so we actually are able to interact with them. And yeah, it's the only person who really touched that changeup today has been Smithy, but even then that was should have been caught fly ball.
Well, when you're geared up for 88 and you get 72, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what makes that pitch so valuable.
Did he check his swing? He did check it, says Dustin Staggs, so that'll be ball 1 to Werner. 1-0 Green Apples. Another really, really, really stressful, high-intensity, close game here. Werner with a chance to break it open. Pearson with a chance to save things for the Scorpions. Screwball, beauty. And that'll be 1-1, folks.
So I'm showing Stein right now. So I just cut a ball for Sawyer Bien. So this is the cut that Sawyer Bien used. It took a little bit of Trevor Bauer cut. Yeah, I know. It's a little light on the top. With
Very
some-
light.
Yeah, so he throws hard. So he likes to keep him a little light. So he gets that little bit.
Yep. When you throw hard, you want the light scuff. There's a riser. Swing and a miss at the cut riser. Man, he's really got that cut riser under control. Very impressive. Another really, really, really big pitch coming here from Jackson Pearson as he looks to stifle this Green Apples rally. One across already. Trying to keep it at that. Same pitch. Not gonna fall for it twice. And it's 2-2 with 2 outs for Werner.
What do you go here as a pitcher right now? James, what do you go here as a pitcher? What are you doing? James Lee and Stein, what do you do right now?
I think I'm dropping a riser trying to hit the pipes on the bottom because the worst that someone can do is hit a ground ball, and they've got 2 infielders right now. So that would be my approach in this situation.
And James, I would agree with you, but you throw one of the most disgusting risers I think everyone has ever seen. You're able to cut grass and mow the grass to help out the lawnmower and still throw a strike in the zone. But I do agree with that. James Stein, what about you? What would you throw in this situation if you're JP?
Yeah, I was going to say low riser, too. I was going to say 2-seam riser because he's shown the cut riser a couple times. Get that 2-seam riser, get that mix in there. You don't have to worry about getting beat on your changeup because you're still making a different pitch. Instead, it's a screwball up, and now we got a full count. There is nowhere to put Werner. He's got to come to him here. He went up with the screwball. Again, this would be a great time for that low 2-seam riser.
I agree with that, and I hope he brings it out right now.
I don't even think he's thrown it once this whole inning.
I know, he's been really cautious about throwing it, which is shocking because it's been one of his better pitches today.
Runners will be moving on the pitch.
Oh!
Wow.
Oh my frijoles! He just threw the most beautiful pitch of the day to get out of it.
And, you know, if you're Werner, you take that pitch,
Oh,
right? That's not a hittable pitch. And you just, you plug your ears and you hope you don't hear what everybody heard, which was the tick of the ball off the pipe.
That's a great team-focused take, and I agree with that 100%. He was thinking about the team right there.
Yeah,
and
maybe you can foul that ball off, you know? But
Well, what a beautiful pitch.
boy, oh boy, very impressive outing from Pearson. Now, if I'm the Scorpions, I'd be making a change here because he probably just emptied all of his bullets emotionally.
Yes.
On making that out. So I'd be ready with Sawyer or maybe even Colm. I'd probably go to Sawyer. But meanwhile, it's the top of the 4th, and all Smithy has to do is make 6 outs here.
And I agree with that, and that's actually why I'm cutting some wiffle balls because I think that Sawyer might be going in this game. And so I'm excited to see. But now it's big on the offense. This Scorpions team is more known for their offense, in my opinion, especially when Dan is not here. So will the Scorpions be able to do something they are very good at, which is getting guys on base and doing that clutch hit. They're known for that. They did that at UWIFs. They've done it in past tournaments. Dustin Staggs is a big part of that, getting the walk to start the innings off. So can they get a rally going and get something going to help them out, especially now that it's later in the game?
And I think it would help their energy too. Their energy has been pretty high all game, but we can see it absolutely explode with some clutch hits here.
Yeah, and it's hot outside, so I know their energy's a little lower than usually. They're pretty consistent, but right now they're taking a little bit of a breath because it's hot.
Well, the
out
thing
here.
is, when you're a team like the Scorpions and you're young, you got things going for you and you got things going against you. And the thing that you've got going for you is that when you're young, the heat doesn't bother you as much per se because you're young and you can handle it. But if you've not had a lot of experience playing in the heat like this, it can ruin you mentally and physically.
And I agree with that 100%. I think that's what the West Coast guys have an advantage is they play in this heat consistently. So even with these later innings, they have an advantage to playing in this. But we have now JP coming up, and let's see if he can help himself out.
You know he wants to do something here. I think what the Scorpions really need more than anything else, swing and a miss at that one. What they need more than anything else is, you know that sound that happens? It doesn't matter what type of bat you're using, but like the pop when you barrel a ball. I don't care if it's a single up the middle, a double to the wall, or a home run. Yeah. As that one swung and missed too. They need to hear that pop and say, all right, we can hit this guy.
Yes, and
that's
I agree
what they
with
need.
that. And these innings have been going by quick for the Green Apples because Will Smithy's just been pounding that zone and showing he's not afraid. And so I agree. One little swing off the bat where you hear something might change the...
Oh my goodness. They're looking at us. I couldn't see. That was McNasty.
That was
I don't know how to describe it.
beautiful pitch.
And you see, that's him. And the thing about it is he's reaching back. You can tell that one's spicier than the rest.
Yes.
Swing and a miss there. Now he's really starting to throw harder.
Oh, man.
But this is the play. You start out throwing in the low 80s and you work your way up into the mid to high 80s so you get better as the game goes on. Oh, just missed it. Did Sawyer there.
Little jammed on that
You
one.
know he just missed it. He just yelled, "Oh, Sawyer!" Oh, my goodness.
And you know you don't hear that yelled all that often, so you know it was a big deal. But yeah, that little drop curve, he's left it up a couple of times, and that's why Sawyer's upset, because he knows that one was up and that one could have been hit. It was in on the hands, but a good player can bring the barrel around there.
Very true.
Swing and a miss, got him chasing. 2 fast outs here for Smithy, who is in complete control of this game right now.
Seriously, like, this is some beautiful pitching by Smithy.
It does not feel like a 1-0
But-
game. It feels like 5-0.
Seriously. But you have Dustin Sachs, who's been the best hitter for the Scorpions all BLW season, actually being a top 5 ranked hitter all season. By stats, Steven giving me a weird look. By stats, he is the best hitter on this team. Oh, with a beautiful pitch.
But this is the thing, a stat can't hit that pitch.
Exactly. That's very true.
Yeah,
And so
yeah,
it's-
Smithy's been good. Well, the thing about Staggs is that he's just so composed, and that's something that's really to the credit of the Scorpions team, as young as they are. Very composed players. Swing and a miss at another perfect pitch.
Wow, Smithy's just attacking.
I mean, he's the thing is, he's not really that high in the zone or that low in the zone. He's just east and west the whole way. East and west the whole way.
Yeah, but you can see Dustin. His swings are on point, really smooth.
He's
not
right on
really
it.
Guessing.
And he's
Oh my
not on that
gosh!
one, though. How about 1, 2, 3 on 3 strikeouts for Smithy? Is this the best pitching performance we've seen all day?
I have to say so. This is just beautiful. And I think if Steve would have maybe finished that game, but you made it not the best pitching game of the day. And I think we're watching some beauty right now.
Well, I mean, listen to these names, okay? Randy Dalby, James Lee, Steve Trepez, Jackson Pearson, Brody, and none of those 5 guys had the best.
And Jake Sullivan, yeah, seriously.
And none of them had the best. It's Smithy, right?
It is.
He's just untouchable out there, and he's doing it effortlessly too, which is, I think, the biggest part. You watch Steve Trepez pitch; that guy's got effort. He's
Yes.
throwing hard. Smithy, he looks like he's having a good time. He's out there in the backyard playing with his wife and kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's beautiful to watch. And I think right now Preston's going to pitch. I think we have a Preston Cole appearance.
Well, I don't blame the Scorpions for getting away from Jackson. Yes, he's given up a run. Yes, he had some base runners in both the second and the third inning. But more importantly than all that, the Green Apples have seen him a lot. They've gotten a lot of at-bats against him now. They've seen everything he's got to offer. And so I think going to Preston Cole here is a good move. Going to Sawyer would have been a good move too. But the change is necessary. It's a proactive change. JP did great. He held the Apples to just 1 across 3 innings. This is a good proactive move.
And I agree with that. And I actually can't wait to see how Preston looks and see if he can show off some of that young gun arm he has. And something great about Preston is he's not afraid to throw strikes early. He just loves attacking the zone. Every time I've faced him, he throws a ton of strikes. He's not scared to throw a screwball where he needs to. He doesn't like walking people, which is huge in fast pitch.
Yeah.
Because walks are killer, and he does not give those up.
Another guy that really looks smooth on the mound is Preston. You know, he's got a really repeatable delivery. Again, looks like he's kind of just flicking it in there.
Yeah.
A little bit more effort than Smithy, but definitely really relaxed, chill, out there to compete, but also looks like he's in control of his own body.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what I've never watched him pitch in person. I've never had the pleasure of facing him, but it'll be very interesting to see if he chooses to attack the zone or if he tries to get a little ticky-tack with it. maybe. It'll be interesting to see which pitch he feels the most confident in, and that will dictate, the pace that he pitches at. Yeah.
Great swing.
We are back. A quick strikeout for Preston Cole here in the bottom of the fourth as the Scorpions look to get their last licks in here, but first they got to get through the rest of these green apples. Beautiful, beautiful pitch there to Gus Skibby, strike one.
And Coleman's just attacking these hitters. He
Just
knows,
like Tommy said.
Yeah, you've got to in this heat, be ready to go out and throw strikes.
Beautiful strike right there, 0-2. And no, that's such a good point because when you're out there pitching, your goal is, of course, to give up no runs, but you want your team out of the sun, and you want the other team back in the sun. It matters for an event like this. This bat that Gus Skibby is using, what is that, 31 inches? Look at how short his handle is.
I honestly think it's because he's so tall.
Maybe.
But
Maybe.
you see a lot. Actually, Dudas has a pretty small bat that he made himself. And it's like you see these guys, almost like they're swinging yellow bat size bats. Ooh.
That is low.
Just low.
Yeah, it's interesting because back in the mid to late 2000s, guys were obsessed with having the longest bat that they could possibly have because they wanted to cover as much of the zone as they could. I feel now in the modern era, guys are getting much shorter bats.
Which I agree with that. Oh, with the dirty drop ball.
And that has a lot of screw for being such a low arm angle.
Yeah, I was about to say it looks like a drop curve out of the hand, but it doesn't curve. It comes back even a little bit. So
It's so beautiful.
it must be in the scuff.
And you can see he's so composed on the mound. He's so ready to go. Oh,
Nice little lefty curve there for strike one.
what a beautiful pitch. And yeah, you kind of see that now, especially with the Nerf bat. Like usually everyone used to makeshift the Nerf bat to make it longer.
Yeah.
You're seeing like younger guys just use it straight up, like at the 32-inch bat it is. And I like the longer bat with a beautiful pitch right there for strike two. I like the longer bat. I use a 35-inch bat.
Yeah.
I like covering the zone, but yeah, you see that now.
Yeah, you ever hear of a guy? I know you haven't. His name is John Anderson. John Anderson is an old school player. He stopped playing, I don't know, maybe 2012, 2013. There it goes! Way out of here! Gone, and it is 2-0 Green Apples. Big insurance run there for the Apples, preventing a solo home run from tying this game. Large hit there from Dudas, and just like you said, Tommy, he swings a big stick, and that was a big home run.
Wow, he's so buff. I mean, that's a great swing by Dudas right there. That's a beautiful swing.
And you can see he just got his hands inside. He got his hands inside on that pitch, and maybe that's a benefit of having a
short bat,
shorter
yeah.
bat is that you can get your hands inside on those cut risers.
Yeah, that was really nice. That one slid a little too much, did not rise enough, and it would just, he beat him to the spot. Anyway, what I was saying is there used to be a guy named John Anderson. He is instrumental in the whole bat modification.
Really?
Or yeah, he's one of the first guys to ever do a bat modification. Maybe even the first. Sylvie Serrano could probably give you a better, or maybe a guy like Dan Lanigan could give you a better answer like that. But anyway, he used to make something that he called a Nerf Earth, which is what he did when he sewed 2 Nerf barrels together in such a way that it spelled Nerf Earth.
That's awesome.
It was a real Frankenstein bat. They were working on everything that they could, anything to make the barrel bigger. And I think guys stopped saying, well, I'm not going to, I think they were treating themselves like chefs, and they were saying, well, I'm not going to be a chef and blame my knife. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to be a hitter and swing with the bat that I want to hit with. And I don't care how long it is.
Well, I'm glad he did that because now you're seeing all these cool bats. I love my moonshot bat that I have. I love swinging I am a big fan of the What A Bat and seeing those bats too. I love seeing Randy Dalby's PVC pipe handle bat.
Yeah.
Very rare to see. You don't see a knob at the end. Oh, great pitch by Preston. And I
Full count.
want to go back to Preston's pitch he threw to do this, and that's something he struggles with. Is his screwball is a very hard pitch. It is beautiful, but his riser is slower, and it seems like he slows it down a little bit. And he's not able to get the same feel as he does in a screwball drop ball, which is not typical in pitching.
Yeah, normally it's the other way around, and I wonder if it's a scuff thing. I wonder if it's an arm slot thing. But it's a good point. With an inside riser like that, when you're pulling the inside riser to left field like that, it means you beat the pitcher to the spot, which means he's probably not throwing that pitch hard enough.
Yeah, and he's a clean ball guy, so that's like I want to take into account. He's actually a better. Oh, what a beautiful slider right there for strike one. He's a clean ball guy. He throws clean ball typically. He actually has thrown clean ball in the fast pitch tournament already, and he's in my opinion, a better clean ball guy. So I don't know if that plays a little bit of a factor, but we'll see after this pitch how he throws this one. Oh,
That 2-seam riser really telegraphing it.
beautiful.
I can see we got Nick Martinez watching the stream. We've got his team is going to be in the next game. It will be Swaros versus the Las Vegas Whifflers.
Yeah, that'll be a really good game, and I know Nick's hurting and that he's not able to be here. He's got a kid and an injury, and that's just a terrible combination for wiffle ball.
Yeah, and it's you gotta love to see though him supporting his son and him new into fatherhood. That's you actually see this. One of my favorite things to see today is the Saguaros are wearing blue to represent his son.
Really?
So you'll see them wearing like the wrist tape, blue wrist tape. Bryce is wearing it. Lede, Coops. I think they all are to represent his new son, which I heard is Ezra Martinez. We love you, Nick. We know you're watching. We miss you out here, but congratulations again.
Yeah, and possibly also get better soon. I'm not sure how that shoulder's feeling. But who else the Saguaros are missing is their quasi-ace. I mean, I guess Coop is their ace, but they're missing Will Marshall.
Yes, I heard he's sick, so that's a tough one to lose as well this deep because they do have Bryce Clark. And Bryce Clark, they're one of those teams that also has a deep rotation where they have aces from other teams coming together. And a big one that I think not a lot of people talk about is Andrew Lede.
Yeah, well, the thing about Lede is that over the last couple of years, he's lost a ton of weight. He's gotten real strong and healthy, and he can give high-quality innings. Not to mention Paul Marshall.
Oh, yeah.
Who throws just about as hard as his brother does. I watched Paul Marshall pitch in the 2025 Texas State Championship because Coop had thrown like 17 innings, and he was like, hey, I'm done. So Paul just went in there, and he was throwing like 92 and just blowing guys away. So
Paul's one of the first pitchers I actually faced in fast pitch. It was him and Steve Trips. Not two pitchers you want to face in your beginning journeys in fast
you got to
pitch.
start somewhere.
And you got to start somewhere. And I remember I almost hit a homer off of him, Oppo, but he threw so fast that I was so late that I almost hit Oppo, but it went foul, and then he struck me out. Because that's what they do. That's what these guys do. But now we have Stephen Hayden, big sex up here. If he could see if he could do something.
Well, check swing. I don't think he went there, so it's a ball. The big sexy himself. Big sexy. You got to say it like Sylvester the Cat.
Oh, yeah.
Or perhaps Daffy Duck.
I hope people know who Sylvester the Cat is, but, we might have a younger audience here.
You're a child. That one's up, ball two.
Hey.
I'm surprised you know who Sylvester the Cat is.
I had a dad who wanted to raise me right. So,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, my dad was big into the old school cartoons.
Watching the Looney Tunes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, a 2-0 pitch. strike right on in there.
Had some movement on it.
Yeah, nice late cut. And, if you're Steven Hayden, you understand that a home run means nothing here. It's about that. It's about getting a guy on and then doing some damage.
I
So
agree 100%.
I'm sure he was taking a strike. Oh, but a rare swing and a miss at a ball. You can see the Scorpions are a little down on themselves right now. I don't think they're used to being down in a game like this.
Seriously, and I think a big part is just like this. It just seems like the Scorpions have been finding the struggling themselves throughout these tournaments. And
oh my goodness, perfect spot. And the thing about I think you make a good point there, Tommy. The thing about the Scorpions is everyone they have a target on their back now. And it's the first thing I said to Dustin Staggs after they lost in the World Tournament Championship game. I said, the part that sucks about losing is that now you've got a target on your back. No one thinks that you're an easy win. Everyone wants to beat you. Everyone's going to come out high intensity and ready to battle. And that is an extra challenge in and of itself. Anyway, here's JP.
Well, and I agree with that 100%. Like, and especially with like players like Steven Hayden now getting into the realm. Jackson Pearson had a huge national championship tournament, and now these guys are getting put in spots. So now like pitchers are taking them even more serious.
Exactly.
And so great take by JP right there. But yeah, you've been seeing that a lot in the tournaments. You've been seeing a lot of people taking them more serious. It's not lax anymore. You got to take them at the highest level because they are now one of the best teams in wiffle ball.
Yeah, in this core, if they stay together, they can do some real special stuff over the course of the next 5 to 10 years. We'll see how that works out. As it pertains to the Scorpions franchise specifically, they may need to find someone to replace Dan Whitener because that is a big loss for them. And I'm curious to know exactly what happened there. I, of course, won't speak publicly about what folks have said to me because it's not my place, but I am curious to know what drove Dan Whitener away from the Scorpions and if we'll see him again here in BLW.
Yeah, I don't know, but man, it's just tough, man, because this Scorpions team actually great take, huge walk.
That's the worst pitch he's thrown all day by
Seriously,
far. He just needed to come in there. You cannot walk a guy there. And now Sawyer Bean has a chance.
Good lead.
Oh, boy.
And I think I agree with that, too, because also in the national championship, they had Connor Jaso. And Connor Jaso was a big part of that team in that run. And so that they don't have him here either. So these are guys learning to pick up the slack if they don't have a big player like Jason on their team. So you're seeing people grow like Jackson Pearson and Sawyer and Steven, and especially Dustin.
You need more from each guy.
Yes.
When you don't have a Jaso, when you don't have a Whitener, you need more from each guy. Let's see if they can give more right here.
I think
Smithy's struggling now. Listen to this. Smithy, who threw, 7 or 8 balls throughout the first 4 innings, he's thrown 7 balls out of his last 8 or 9 pitches.
Yeah, I don't know if it's his arms getting tired or if it's just he's not able to find it. But
it could be the heat. He could be sweating.
And I think
that low.
Wow,
back to back walks, and that one was on 4 pitches.
And I think a big one too is the ball. Like the balls, we're not playing on ground.
This is the smart move. Hey, take a drink of water. Let's chill out for a second. Everybody relax.
Wow, that looks like some cold water right there. A big thing too is we're not playing on grass. We're playing. You guys are playing on like concrete.
It's like rubber.
Yeah, and
hard rubber.
The ball can get messed up over time. And so I remember playing in the tournament last year on that. I got a ball or two break just from hitting the ground so much. And like James was saying, it gets squishy quick. And so that was a good call. Taking a little bit of a breather, wiping his face.
You know who would have a lot to say about this? The GOAT himself, Kevin Norris. If you watch Kevin Norris when he warms up in fast pitch, yard, or anything else, he brings multiple balls out there every inning because he's always checking and rechecking. Hey, am I sure that this is the ball I want? Strike right down the middle. Am I sure that this is the ball I want? Am I sure that my ball didn't get messed up last inning? Maybe there was a ground out last inning, and maybe all of a sudden now that ball doesn't work anymore. It's something that he does. I've really only seen him and maybe a couple other guys do it. Very smart to warm up with multiple balls, especially if you're confident that each of the balls is meant to do the same thing.
And I agree with that 100%. I actually got to warm up Kevin Norris in the national championship game when he possibly was going to come in for Whitener just to get him loose. And I helped him warm up. Oh! with a beautiful pitch. He just went from throwing 7 balls,
That's
or 8 balls, to
3 perfect strikes in a row.
That's
that
just
water.
deja vu.
Some-
Deja vu right there. That the last time
Yeah.
he was up, same exact thing happened.
Somebody better check what was in that water
yeah, man.
that Gus Skibby gave to him.
Talk about Sylvester the Cat, maybe some Michael Jordan secret stuff. Shout out to Space Jam.
Yeah.
See some of that in there. That's it.
All right, so it comes down to Hayden. Something crazy could happen here.
Oh
My goodness!
Wow.
Foul right back toward us with
Steven-
that slider.
And Steven doing his typical talking to himself after just missing one.
I love talking to myself. That's
Ah.
something he and I have in common. It's a very fun thing to do.
I do it too, but he's more of a negative talker to
Yeah,
himself.
I
but
am
it
too.
works.
I call myself names all the time.
Yeah,
And I think Steven feels like he probably should have smoked that ball down the line.
serious. I agree with that.
Swing and a miss, and now the Scorpions are down to their last strike.
Let's see.
Another hittable pitch there.
Just attacking him in right there.
But it feels
making sure you're trying to jam him. Make sure he can't get his hands out.
Just inside enough,
But
yeah.
the Scorpions is the guy you want. You want Steven Hayden up there.
You want him? You got him! A changeup down the middle to finish him off.
man.
And that is your ball game. Green Apples win 2-0. 3 really good games so far. This one, the largest margin of victory at just 2. Smithy pitching his hiney off. Great effort by both teams. Folks, we're getting ready to move on to the next game, our final quarterfinals game, which will feature the number 2 seeded Saguaros playing against the challenger team, Las Vegas Whifflers. And then after that, we're going to the semifinals. So we've got 3 more games coming your way. I will not be calling those games, but a great job by all of our teams so far. For BLW, James Lee, Tommy Hernandez, and our whole production team, I'm James Stein. I am signing off. It's been an absolute pleasure.